pick.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Negotiate.
800 bucks.
900.
850.
Close.
Are we doing it? It's a deal.
All right, score.
Flying across the field feeling like that guy did in 1937.
They're the masters of the art of picking.
That's the kind of stuff you dream about.
Most of the time.
I'm gonna give you $600. Nope.
American.
Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel that I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's time to stand up in today's American Pickers. American Pickers star Frank Fritz died on Monday, September 30th, and a close friend believes he passed because he lost his will to live 2 years after suffering a debilitating stroke. Frank died at 60 years old in an Iowa hospice with loved ones, including longtime friend and co-star Mike Wolfe, by his side. In an exclusive interview with the U.S. Sun, Frank's close friend Jerry Gendreau revealed the star's difficult recovery after he suffered a stroke in July 2022. Jerry, who owns Bar Hog Dogs in Savannah, Illinois, where the late star's antique store Frank Fritz finds is located inside, told the U.S. Sun, "He felt really, really bad. You would go to see him in the nursing home, and one half of his body was completely done. He would lift his arm up, and it would just drop. That's got to be tough to be totally bedridden." Jerry explained how Frank grew frustrated because he couldn't come out and say what he wanted to say, though some days were much, much better than others. "I've seen this when people get tired, they get tired. I think if you don't have the will to live, you won't," Jerry said. "I think Frank could have lived a lot longer if the will to live would have been there." Jerry said he will always remember his friend's spontaneity, the quality that made him a fan favorite on American Pickers. "He was truly the comedian who popped out with some of the weirdest and dumbest things that you just go, wow," Jerry said. "Frank was pretty much a what you see is what you get guy. His faults were his faults. You can't fault anybody for being what they are. He was a right is right and wrong is wrong kind of person. He made a mark on history." A source previously told the U.S. Sun how Frank struggled in the months leading up to his passing. "He has been bad since the stroke, and he had been getting worse. He was unable to move the right side of his body. He needed 24-hour care. There was no way he was getting better." The passing comes 2 years after Frank suffered a stroke in his Iowa home in July 2022. Frank was unable to recover from the stroke fully, as he was rushed to the hospital 4 times in 2022 and 2023 for pneumonia and a seizure. He was left wheelchair-bound and returned to a rehabilitation center after the hospital stints. He can walk, but he's always going to need the wheelchair because he can't walk long distances, a source previously told the U.S. Sun in August 2023. "Basically, you lose motion. He lost motion. A stroke can affect your left or your right side. It affected his right side." Conservatorship. Frank's close friends filed for a conservatorship and guardianship for him in August 2022. Midwest One Bank acted as Frank's conservator, while his close friend Chris Davis was his guardian. Because of his stroke, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care without which physical injury or illness may occur, documents obtained by the U.S. Sun read. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs. Decisions must be made for Mr. Fritz's care and placement while he continues to recover and receive treatment for his injuries. The appointment of a guardian and conservator was deemed necessary to avoid immediate harm to him. In July 2024, conservator Midwest One demanded Frank's finances be transferred to them because he needed skilled and long-term nursing care at the time. Mike, 60, announced Frank's passing the morning after his death, as he wrote on Instagram, "It's with a broken heart that I share with all of you that Frank passed away last night. I've known Frank for more than half my life, and what you've seen on TV has always been what I have seen, a dreamer who was just as sensitive as he was funny." The same off-camera as he was on, Frank had a way of reaching the hearts of so many by just being himself. Who would have ever dreamed we would share the cockpit of a white cargo van in front of millions of people interested in our adventures? Before the show, we would take off together to places we never knew existed with no destination in mind, and just the shared passion to discover something interesting and historic. The U.S. Sun obtained exclusive photos of Mike, 60, outside of his Iowa vacation rental in his hometown of LeClaire, Iowa on Wednesday, October 2nd. Mike appeared somber in the photos as he focused on making renovations to the home. The U.S. Sun also obtained photos of Mike's brother Robbie, who replaced Frank on the History Channel show. He also appeared down as he was seen chatting with customers at his shop United Motors in Davenport, Iowa. Honoring Frank. Frank's guardian previously told the U.S. Sun of funeral plans for the late History Channel star. Frank Fritz, the beloved co-star of History Channel's American Pickers, tragically passed away at the age of 59 after a long and difficult battle following a debilitating stroke. According to close friends, Fritz had lost the will to live amid an arduous recovery process that left him physically and emotionally drained. His death has sent shockwaves through the fan community, with many mourning the loss of the charismatic picker who brought joy to millions. A devastating stroke and a painful decline. Fritz suffered a stroke in July 2022, which left him partially paralyzed and requiring extensive medical care. The stroke occurred just months after he was fired from American Pickers, a show he had co-hosted alongside Mike Wolfe since 2010. While the exact cause of his dismissal remains disputed, sources close to Fritz claimed that his exit from the show deeply affected him, leaving him feeling isolated and depressed even before his health crisis. A close friend of Fritz, who wished to remain anonymous, revealed to The Sun that the former TV star struggled immensely in the aftermath of his stroke. Frank never really recovered, not just physically but mentally, the friend said. The stroke took so much from him. He was in constant pain, needed round-the-clock care, and just lost the will to live. It was heartbreaking to see him like that. Fritz was reportedly placed in a rehabilitation facility in Iowa, where he underwent intensive therapy. However, his progress was slow, and friends say he grew increasingly despondent as his condition failed to improve. A rocky relationship with co-star Mike Wolfe. Adding to Fritz's emotional turmoil was his strained relationship with Mike Wolfe, his longtime friend and co-star. The two had a falling out prior to Fritz's departure from American Pickers, and Wolfe's public statements about Fritz's health were seen by some as insincere. After Fritz's stroke, Wolfe posted on Instagram, asking for prayers for his former colleague. However, Fritz's friends claimed that Wolfe never reached out privately, leaving Fritz feeling abandoned. Frank felt betrayed. Another insider shared. He gave so much to that show, and when he was at his lowest, he didn't feel supported by the people he once considered family. Wolfe has since paid tribute to Fritz following his death, writing, "Despite the public acknowledgement, many fans remain critical of Wolfe, accusing him of failing to stand by Fritz when he needed him most." Fritz's struggles with addiction and mental health. Even before his stroke, Fritz had been open about his battles with alcohol addiction and depression. In 2020, he entered rehab for alcohol abuse, and while he claimed to have gotten sober, friends say the stress of his firing and subsequent health issues led to a deep emotional spiral. Frank was never the same after he left the show, a family friend revealed. He felt like he had lost his purpose. The stroke just made everything worse. Fritz had also been dealing with chronic back pain, which required multiple surgeries over the years. The combination of physical ailments, addiction struggles, and professional setbacks created a perfect storm of despair that, according to those closest to him, ultimately contributed to his decline. Fans mourn a fallen star. News of Fritz's death has prompted an outpouring of grief from fans who grew up watching him on American Pickers. Known for his sharp eye for antiques, his gruff but lovable personality, and his signature bowl-cut hairstyle, Fritz was a fan favorite who brought authenticity to the show. Social media has been flooded with tributes, with many viewers sharing their favorite Frank Fritz moments. "Frank was the heart of American Pickers," one fan tweeted. "Without him, the show just isn't the same. Rest in peace, legend." Another wrote, "He made picking fun. His laugh, his passion, he was one of a kind. So sad to hear how much he suffered at the end. A legacy left behind." Despite the hardships of his final years, Fritz leaves behind a lasting legacy in the world of antique collecting and reality TV. His keen eye for hidden treasures and his down-to-earth charm made American Pickers a hit, and his influence can still be seen in the countless collectors he inspired. Fritz also owned an antique store, Frank Fritz Finds, in Savannah, Illinois, where fans would often visit in hopes of meeting him. The store became a pilgrimage site for American Pickers enthusiasts, and many have expressed sadness that they'll never get the chance to shake his hand or hear one of his famous bargaining tactics in person again. A tragic end to a complicated life. Frank Fritz's story is one of immense talent overshadowed by personal demons, professional conflicts, and devastating health struggles. While he brought laughter and excitement to millions, his own life was marked by pain and loneliness in his final years. His death serves as a somber reminder of the toll that fame, addiction, and health crises can take, even on those who seem larger than life on screen. As fans continue to mourn, many are calling for American Pickers to honor Fritz in a future episode, ensuring that his contributions to the show are never forgotten. For now, the world remembers Frank Fritz not just as a TV personality, but as a man who fought hard, even when the odds were stacked against him. Rest in peace, Frank. You were one of the greats. Final thoughts. Frank Fritz's death is a heartbreaking loss for the American Pickers community and beyond. His struggles in his final years highlight the importance of mental health support, especially for those in the public eye. While his time on Earth was cut short, his impact on antique hunting and reality television will endure. If there's one lesson to take from Fritz's life, it's that even those who bring joy to others may be fighting silent battles of their own. His story is a call for compassion, for recognizing that behind every smile, there may be unseen pain. Frank Fritz may be gone, but his legacy and the memories he created will live on.